When they say break the bias, Mariam, what does that mean? I mean, when you say break the bias, you said about subconscious bias.
Conscious bias.
Could you tell us what you mean?
Yes. So for me, unconscious bias is just discriminations that we have made a part of our daily lives. We don't even think about it. Even women, we have it towards us. And I've seen, to be fair, the world has, we've been evolving. We've seen changes. But there used to be a time, if you were to look around now and you had seen a female behind the camera, unconsciously you're like, who is that? Because it's not a woman's job. But now we're seeing more of it. So you see a woman who starts a job and then she gets married. And you start hearing the conversations that she's soon going to have a baby and things like that. I don't know how good, I need to get someone else. So the bias now makes you think that there's just only one way to work with a woman that's married and is pregnant, is that after a while she has to go away on leave, maternity leave, that's your time, and then you have to pay her money. You don't think of the fact that, why don't we make it easier for her? Why don't we give her different hours? Why don't we give her days that she can work from home? Why don't we make sure that there's a crèche available so that when she comes, she can keep her children safely beside her? So it should open our minds, even for us as women, how else we can properly include ourselves in the workplace.
Breaking the bias starts with women taking ownership, understanding the fact that all the pleasure that we're currently enjoying is based on the fact that some women fought the battle. And I'm very honored to have be privileged to be sitting beside YK, whose grandmother fought the battle. And some battle will protest. Other battles will just go there and insist this is how we want it to be. Some battles our protest would give us. Some battles people will die on the path towards it. But we must understand as women that we mustn't take the limits they put on us. So the conversation, a short conversation when Mariam was talking about unconscious bias, was that my children read Mariam's amazing book about vultures, and they did a video assuming the illustrator was a man. They said, oh, thumbs up to the illustrator. He did an amazing job. And I had a feeling Mariam mentioned it was a woman, but I wasn't sure, so I didn't correct them. Only for Mariam to tell me that illustration was done by a woman. But unconsciously, they just assumed animation, illustration, it will be done by a man. We need to understand that when you hear CEO, it's not he. CEO can be she. And there are many powerful female CEOs. So it is a reminder that they might not agree, but if our grandmom did not drive, if they did not go out and protest that we are going to be allowed to vote, if people didn't step up, we probably wouldn't have as much right as we have now. So all of you watching at home, all of us sitting in this auditorium, don't think it is a fight for politicians. The women are the ones protesting. The protest is going on for all of us, and so we must all be involved in the protest, because the success would rub off on every one of us. So we must all get involved. Thank you.
Can I just say, all right, yeah, because we are protesting today because it's International Women's Day. What about tomorrow? What about next week? If we protest today and we don't protest tomorrow, it's not going to continue. They've just started again. They're just making noise. It's a continuous thing. It has to be, look, if it's every week, we decide that, okay, every week women are coming out. Every week women are locking the other room.
YK, somebody said it on the show, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, saying that all women across the country, we should lock up the kitchen, lock up the other room. We don't want to do it again. Lock up kitchen, lock up the other room, saying that we're protesting because every man must become a for she. Yes. Within your own constituency, within your home, within your community, within your company, people. So we're saying we're all protesting that we don't want to keep going out. We want all of you.
You know what we need to do?
Yes.
We need to go and look for the politicians who voted out, and then go and meet their wives. But it's you. If your husband does not change the bill, it's you we will hold.
Exactly.
So beyond the protest, we need to continue the advocacy from all spheres, starting from your home. When you're raising your 2 children, boy, girl, when you need to do that mind shift for all the men around us. We have a few he for she's in the National Assembly. We saw what they did. Even the speaker, I think, was the he for she. And we have some joining the protest today. We have men who are joining the protest today. We need to celebrate those men and loud it on them as if, they are different. we need to bring out that celebration around them so that the shame will be on those who think their mothers are goddesses, but their wives are not.